Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Phoenix Raceway in Arizona in Maricopa County, as these drivers here at the Virtual Velocity Racing are about to take on the track that eluded them here in race number, I believe it was 2 or 3, was set on the schedule before the iRacing updates. It is back. This was going to be their off week, and they decided we need to come back here. We need to run this race. 1 mile, tri-oval, low banked. These guys will be running the newer version here of Phoenix, so they will be able to use the apron and go all the way down to the wall if they so choose. So it should be a good one here tonight. TRN's coverage of the Virtual Velocity Racing Cup Car Series is going to take place here tonight, and it's going to be a good one. There's a good-sized field out here tonight. It's a tricky little, it's the little tricky triangle, if you want to call it that. It's not Pocono for sure, but this thing is different. It's got really 3 different corners, kind of just like Pocono does, but this one only being a 1 mile track. It'll be interesting to see how these guys take it. Sometimes we see the entire field go down below that yellow line all the way down to the wall, and sometimes they elect to stay up there a little bit and say that it saves a little bit of tires. Carl Hamwork in the booth, joined by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, I know you had some laps here at Phoenix. It's pretty fun, but kind of a technical little track here.
Yeah, Carl, it's it's not. I mean, if you look at the track map when I get it up here, it's not quite an oval. It's got a little bit of a like oblong shape at the one end, so it really does make just past the start finish line. It does really make for some interesting lines to be taken around the track, and it's going to be tricky out here with, we're pushing over 30 drivers here tonight. As you can see, the qualifying has begun, and it takes about 28 seconds or so to get around here, and these drivers are going to have to pay attention with their tires. They're running 40% fuel. They got 2 sets of tires over the wall, and it's going to be an interesting one here.
We are going to bring in our pre-race reporter, pre-race interview here tonight. It is going to be there we go. Yep, we got it now. It's going to be the driver of the number 10, Joseph Grijalva, one of the men that we had fun listening to Jimmy try to pronounce your name for quite some time before we got it locked down here. But Joe, welcome to the booth. You've certainly had a bit of an up and down series so far this season, but heading into Phoenix here tonight, looks like you're running pretty well again, just outside of top 5 in qualifying. So, tell us about your season so far. What do you think about tonight, and what do you think of the outlook for the rest of the season?
I'm pretty fortunate to be with these guys. Kim brought me in the second race and then on. So yeah, it was pretty good. And then I think I got New Hampshire let it go to my head because it was a little hectic there at the end. And then just unfortunate at I can't even remember what track. I did like 6 laps, I think, the next track before I got wrecked or wrecked myself. But yeah, hopefully Phoenix is pretty close to my heart. Hopefully it'll be a good race. Yes.
So what is it about this track that you kind of look forward to? What do you think the pitfalls are going to be here tonight? Do you think it's going to be something where track position is going to be big? Do you think the cut in the tri-oval there is going to be big?
So we couldn't cut the doglegging practice, so I'm assuming it's going to be like during the race, unless you get a time penalty. So we'll find out, I guess. I'm assuming it's the same thing. But yeah, it's track position's important, but tire wear with only, I think we're going to have 2 sets. That's going to be the game factor there. Whoever can keep those tires good, and they're going to run up across the field like they're standing still.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's bad enough trying to get through a race here, but 150 laps here tonight, 150 miles, and only a couple sets of tires is not going to be that fun. But congrats on a good starting position here, 6th place right now, the way it looks in qualifying, as you guys are all complete with the qualifying. Up to this point, I mean, do you feel like you left a little bit out there in regards to where you're at in the championship standings? Unfortunately, it's not letting me bring it up for some reason. But how do you feel your championship season's gone so far, and do you feel like you can make a run? I mean, these guys in the MFRD have been a little bit tough here so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of fast guys here. I'm pretty positive I can make the cutoff at least. The progressing, that's going to be a fight. There's a lot of fast guys, and as we get weeded out more and more, it's just the competition that stays. It just gets tougher and tougher. So I think I can make it, but continuing on, that's going to be a fight for sure.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be consistency, and I mean, sure, you'd love to stack up some wins and even some top threes, but I think some consistent top fives are going to certainly help you out. But before we let you go and hop back in the car, get ready for this thing. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Hey man, I appreciate for getting me in so late. You guys putting it on. Thanks for Dad for watching here. He's always in the chat and the family, and hopefully we can put on a good finish.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you get in the car, go out there for 150 laps, keep it clean, and maybe we'll talk to you after the race.
Hopefully we'll be there.
All right. That is the driver of the number 10 here tonight, Joseph Grijalva. And Jimmy, we are ready to go. I believe there's two pace laps here. So why don't you give us a quick rundown of this qualifying order?
Yeah, we'll do a quick rundown here for qualifying results as Brandon Mefford will take the pole here tonight. And Todd Merkel, Dalton Kilroe, Mike Hasty, Ray Courtney, Joseph Grijalva, Don Garrett, Jordan Larson, Billy Van Meter, Ty Marasco for your top 10. Then Ryan Allen, Joshua Divers, Brian Dees, Brandon Neer, Eric Blount, Derek Paulson, Tim Lee, Chris Mullen for your top 18. And we have a lot of drivers out here, so it'll be Tim Williams, Mike Taylor for your top 20, then Michael Bendito, DJ Mitchell, Len McNeese, Tyler Hilton, Hilton Young, Hemi, just call him Hemi, Frank Hughes, Kay Green, Michael Pratt, Craig Lerman, Brian Rainford, Ray Radford as we go green here. As Todd Merkel will sneak out to the lead just ever so slightly using that top side of that 83 of Brandon Mefford.
Yeah, I forget what we were calling the other pace car driver, but either way, he's got a hot day tonight. He's not waiting around here, and all these cars barely got on the track from pit road, and he decided to make that left-hand turn right away. And we are racing here at Phoenix. Still a battle side by side, and it's interesting that that these guys are not allowed to use the apron, but that is going to take out our top two drivers. We'll have to take a look at that again. I don't think the two of Merkel got into the wall, but he certainly got loose coming off the corner and shot right down into the backside of the 83 there, your pole sitter, Brandon Mefford. And yeah, a little wobble coming off the corner, and just a ton of net code as well. And you hate to see that. About a foot of net code in between the cars right there. They might have made contact regardless, but I mean, it sucks. Plain and simple. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It sucks when netcode gets involved, but big incident there. It looks like certainly some damage to the number 2 there, and quite possibly to the backside of the 83. It don't look like too bad right now, but be a little bit on the front end. Certainly a lot of damage to that too. And these guys, again, they do not have any faster pairs, so two of our front runners here tonight are going to be licking their wounds already here on lap number 1, and we are under caution. That's going to give the lead to Dalton Kilroe, and talked about him quite a lot here so far this season.
The 41's been putting on a pretty good show. Him and the MFRD racing team, as those drivers tend to make their way towards the front by the end of the race. And yeah, the no fast repair thing here with virtual velocity racing is it could be a plus and it could be a negative. You know, you really got to take care of your cars, and as much as you want to do some hard racing, just kind of be easy. You know, the first good push on the race in order to settle down and get things sorted out. And if you're in the you're going from the leader, I mean, maybe just follow unless he's truly slowing you down. It's just probably the view of the drivers that kind of just take their time and try to separate themselves from a few of the drivers behind them. But yeah, it's a tough break for Brandon Mefford and Todd Merkel as wrecking out there on lap 1, and I'm sure that's going to come key here to some of the other drivers. They were able to avoid those two as they were the only two that kind of got involved. Like you said, a little bit of net code there. That's not a good thing to see, and it does happen in iRacing. And I don't know if it has to deal with this track or how fast they're going. I don't know the whole equation. Sometimes it's worse than others with certain cars and certain tracks. So hopefully that's not a going theme here for tonight as these drivers continue to make their way around here. And right now we're only on lap 5. I'm still under caution, and lights all off in the pace car as we get ready to go back to green.
Your points leader is still Derek Paulson after last week missing and having to take a provisional. He still has a 2-point lead over Dalton Kilrow. Then McNeese is in third, 12 points back. Gordon Larson in fourth, 26 points back. Joshua Divers in fifth, 29 back. And Eric Blunt, Ray Courtney, Brian Dees, Joseph Grijalva, and Mike Rideout round out your top 10. But we are ready to go back green here. This is a kind of a funky little restart here because the pit lane starts right there at the end of old turn number 3, which is the end of turn number 2 at this point. But these guys have to pace all the way down through here. It's almost kind of like Talladega, where the pace car pulls off and you still have to go through the tri-oval. You still have to go quite a long way before you even get to the point where you can restart. But we have done so. These guys are back on the loud pedal. Dalton Kilrow out to a nice restart here. And in second place is going to be the man that we talked to before the race. Joseph Grijalva moves himself up into second, already up 4 spots. Mike Hasty, Ray Courtney, and Ty Marasco, your top 5, with Joshua Divers, Gordon Larson, John Garrett, Brandon Meir, and Derek Paulson, your points leader, rounding out your top 10.
It's going to be a lot going through drivers and then trying to see where everybody's at. So there is 32 drivers on the track tonight. So if you're out there, want to know where your driver, how your driver is doing, and can't quite find them in the ongoing ticker up the top, give us a shout in the chat and move around a little bit and see where your favorite driver is as we try to give everybody the best coverage as possible. It gets really hectic for me sometimes as there is so much great racing back here. As you see the 2 wide back here for Pete on 21 as the Michael Bendito just made the pass on the number 98 of Mike Taylor.
Yeah, these guys fan out here as the race gets started. You see, again, a big field out here tonight. 32 drivers, looks like 31 have taken the green flag. Frank Hughes Jr., the only one that is not out there on the track. But 31 cars spreads out pretty far on this track. I mean, we're only just under green here, and you see the cars are pretty much taking up about half the track already. It certainly, kind of ebbs and flows as they go in and out of the corners here. But, I mean, catching up to lap cars is going to happen pretty quick. This field is certainly going to spread out at Phoenix. It's a track where you can, drive it fairly easily, whether you're cutting the corner or these guys can't here tonight. But it's not that hard of a track to drive, but it's certainly a track being a little bit flatter here. Definitely are going to burn off those tires, and you'll see the guys that are better and smoother work their way towards the front on these long runs.
Yeah, and them not being able to basically go down, does that change it up a little bit. It's right here across the start finish line as well. If you look in the official races, you'll find a lot of drivers going down there. You get so far down on that inside, Carl, that your spotter doesn't even know there's somebody on the outside when you come to truck. So far, they've kind of single filed themselves out a little bit. They've got a little bit of action in the back here. Let's see, that was the 19 of K Green coming into the pits. Let's see what happened there. It doesn't look like K Green hit the wall. He fell back quite a ways. Right here. See what happened to the very next Hilton Green. You can see, a little bit of action there.
Yeah, gets up a little bit too close there to the 38 and hooks himself across the front bumper into the wall, but we are going to stay green. But that 19 is definitely hurting, and he brings it into pit lane. And looks like possibly maybe getting some pit repairs, may still see him back out there. Brandon Meir looks like to be out of the race here in the 34, has not turned a lap here, or maybe just about a half a lap the way it looks here. But either way, out front it is Dalton Kilrow, Joseph Grijalva, and Ty Marasco now up 7 positions into third place. Mike Hasty, Ray Courtney is going to be your top 5. Joseph Divers up 6 positions as well, as he is up to 6th place. But your biggest mover of the race so far, the 02 of Tyler Hilton, as he is up 11 spots after starting in 24th. So you can definitely make some passes here, and these guys are doing it early, but I again, you got to wonder, with this track being as flat as it is, how much are these guys saving tires? How hard are they actually pushing it? Or are they looking to run this thing out, quite a bit? As it is 150 laps here on the docket, already 10% of the race has been completed now.
Yeah, it doesn't take long, and when you see these drivers, take care of their cars, and I think a little bit of excitement and nerves being up front and trying to break out. Get those two drivers just a little bit, and they're gonna have to work their way through the field. They're gonna have to work hard tonight, and hope for a caution or two. Maybe if they got extra repairs that need to be done, so they can be in a little more contention. But they're gonna have to work their way through the field, just be methodical about that and do the best they can, just make what they can out there here tonight. There's the possibilities of winning obviously have gone down, but right now we're looking at Dalton Kilrow out to a not quite a 1 second lead over Joseph Grijalva back there in that number 10 that we talked to earlier. And then Ty Marasco in P number 3 in the number 1 car. So got a nice little gap there, and then back to Mike Hastie's leading a group of cars back there, the 72 to 99 Ray Courtney, Joshua Divers, John Garrett, Ryan Allen, Derek Paulson, all kind of in that group there, and as they are pretty much single file about half the track around.
And 2 of our race winners so far this year are actually not in attendance. I don't see Robert Kahn out there, and last week's winner at Chicagoland, Michael Pratt, I'm not seeing his name here in the field. So actually, I'm sorry, he is in the field. He is back there in 22nd, up 6 positions right now. So starting pretty far in the field, and I'm assuming he may not have laid down a qualifying lap, but working his way up through the field to try and make it a double here. But Dalton Kilrow with 2 wins on the season. Derek Paulson, Robert Kahn, and Michael Pratt are your other 3 winners. So 4 winners over 5 races. A nice little mix-up here, but it's definitely been the guys from MFRD have been doing quite a bit of dominating to start this season, but we've seen some of the other teams start to reach up a little bit and maybe get a little bit more aggressive. They get up towards the front, but again, Kilrow and Paulson, your top 2 in the points, and Kilrow for sure is running good here tonight, and Paulson is not too far back as he has made his way into the top 10 quite early here, but already on lap number 20. These laps do quick. Let me try that again. These laps click by quickly as they're under 30-second lap times to get around this 1 mile flat track.
Yeah, times I think stay steady for the most part. I have to look close to this here so I can kind of see what they're at. Yeah, they're at 29-second laps. Their best laps are right around 28 or so for some of the faster drivers. So right now they're about a half a second off from the start after 20 laps. And I heard Joseph Grijalva talk about tires, and they need to kind of separate these things out. They do only have 40% fuel in these cars. So I'm not quite sure the amount of pit stops they will need to take. So we might have some drivers out there trying to stay out because, don't want to go a lap down. And I mean, there's multiple lanes here, but with the tire wear being so strategic, you don't want to spend too much time fighting the other drivers. And if you can gain a position in or entering and exiting the pits, it'll probably be a lot easier than on the track itself. But you see the O2 a little high there. And Eric Blount go by in that 6.
A nice little run as these guys are starting to spread out for sure. First and second, Kilrow and Grijalva have stretched out to about a 2-second lead over Ty Marasco. In actually, am I looking at that wrong? No, yeah, they have stretched out a 2-second lead over Ty Marasco. No, I am wrong. Marasco has a 2-second lead over the next group of cars there with Mike Hastie in 4th place. So top 3 running away here a little bit, but as you see on the track map, as Jimmy points out, the Skittles on the track map, they are starting to catch up to the back of the field already, and I would say within another maybe 10 laps or so, we're already going to see the leaders up there into lap traffic, and I think that's where it's going to get very interesting because this is, pretty early in the race to be catching lap traffic. Of course, the lappers don't want to be lapped. They don't want to be in the way. So it's depending on how much give and take these guys are going to give each other. once they get up through there, and that's when we'll see the field probably catch back up to that top 3 once again. But battle back here, 425th between Mike Taylor and I believe that was the 8th on the inside there of Len McNeese.
Yeah, so Len McNeese trying to get that 84 Western Union machine up to the field. Starting maybe a little farther back than normal. But, when we talked to Michael Pratt, go back here last week's winner, he was talking about like he just, starts in the back of the field and he works his way through, and, if he gets a good finish, he gets a good finish. But right now, that's 77, working his way through the field so far up the 6 spots. Right in front of him, you have Craig Learman there. He's up 8 spots. From starting towards the back as well. And then Derek Paulson, another driver, he's up 6 spots in that number 16 machine from MFRD. And then Tyler Hilton, right in the smack dab in the middle of the pack right here. And Pete, number 15, is up 9 spots. So a lot of drivers coming from the back, moving their way forward. But we can't, forget about some of the front runners up right now. Ty Marasco up 7 spots. Joseph Pahalva is up 4 spots, and he's now closing down the leader of Dalton Kilrow, looking to put a little bit of pressure on him and, maybe take that advantage and move into the lead.
Obviously, in the interview, he said that he does enjoy Phoenix here. He likes the track, and it can definitely be a fun little track if you know how to drive it. I mean, there's certainly fast ways around here. Every car is different, especially here in the next gen cars. But if you have a handle on the track and you have a feeling of how it needs to be driven, you can certainly gain a few tenths on the rest of the field. But you see right in front of our 2 leaders already coming up on a couple lap cars at the back there, and I believe that is the 38 and 47 of Hilton Young and Ray Radford. Craig Lerman in pit road. Not sure if we had an issue here, if this is a scheduled pit stop or the 43 here.
Sure, bringing that number 43 DuPont machine down into the pits here, trying to get a look at his car, but I don't see any damage to it. Looks like maybe just in for some fuel or gas and go here early. One of the first ones in.
Hard to tell. It's just that car is so black. Everything is black on it. Can't tell if there's any kind of damage or not. it's the emo paint scheme.
It's actually, everything is just absorbed, and there's no damage. It just takes it. It absorbs net coat.
Calling Craig Lerman the Dark Knight out here. But we got a battle brewing here for the lead, as Grijalva would like to try and get this lead before the pit stops the way it looks. But these guys are coming up very fast on that lap traffic. So, this is a situation, Jimmy, we haven't seen too much from these guys, in regards to the short pitting or, going long on the fuel runs is one thing, but when you're coming up on lap traffic, you're coming up on slower cars, it certainly can be an opportunity to kind of sneak in if you're Grijalva. Maybe you jump into the pits a little bit earlier than you wanted to and not have to deal with these lap cars. But now you see side by side for the lead. New leader that time by was Joseph Grijalva. But as I was saying, you hop in the pits and you may come back out in some more traffic, so it's kind of it's a risky situation, but you could come out in clean air and start putting out some laps and pass that guy on the pit cycle instead of having to try and pass him on the track. As you see, Kilrow has made the pass back into first as they go around and lap the 38 of Hilton Young.
Yeah, looks like the third.
We've got a caution. Looks like it is the 38 of Hilton Young, just as we talk about him. But we'll see, maybe taking a funky little angle here into turn number 1.
Just looked like he was slowing down the kind of pits.
Now just decides to slow down and stop and maybe retire out of the race, but unfortunately that's going to be a weak caution here on iRacing, as we will go under the yellow flag here for what really wasn't even an incident, but these guys will be able to come in and take a free pit stop here. Some of these guys are going to be staying out here maybe to try and get a lap back. Looks like the 02 of Hilton Young, or I'm sorry, Tyler Hilton, maybe staying out there to grab a lap lead before he comes into the pits. But just about everybody else is electing to come down pit road that doesn't need a lap back. And we'll take a look at who gets off pit road first.
And the one had a nice stop there. He might have beat Grijalva off the line there.
Which my camera angle was on the other side of pit road, so I couldn't see anything over there. But
Yeah,
it looks like
just the cameras. I know.
Yep.
I know that we share the same program, so like we kind of hit piggybacks off to exactly what I'm looking at. But sometimes if I adjust the camera, that might be a funny angle for Carl if he hasn't had time to adjust it to something that he would like to see. So, but anyways, right now, yeah, a few drivers staying out here, Carl. It's going to make things kind of interesting, you know, depending on how things kind of all take out. But Tyler Hilton decided to stay out. And Mike Taylor was up there, but decided there to the last lap there to kind of come in and pit, take advantage, and just kind of get on the same cycle as everybody else. Looks like Ray Radford, then McNeese in as well.
I mean, I get the O2 Tyler Hilton staying out there to lead a lap, and you're not coming in, you're not taking tires at this point. It's only 35 laps in. You're going to want to wait until at least past the lap 50 to take your first set of tires, as you see everybody coming in and just taking fuel only. But you're 33 laps in on fuel. Okay, I was going to say if the O2 doesn't come in here, I'm not sure what the gain is, other than grabbing that the bonus point for leading a lap. He's got to come in and at least top off on fuel and get back on the same strategy as everybody else, and it's exactly what he is going to do right here. So that's going to give
his
the lead back
teammates
to
in as well, right behind him. The other white car coming in.
Yeah, indeed, and it's going to give the lead back to Dalton Kilrow. Ty Marasco jumps up over Joseph Grijalva, moves himself into second here. So we will have, I believe, teammates on the front row, and looks like Kilrow is going to choose the outside and going to give Ty Marasco the inside here. So it could be some teammates playing some games here, and possibly, unless they I was gonna say, unless they had the choose rule. I've seen Joseph Grijalva up there in third place, looking to the high side there too. But it could be some teammates working together here. And Marasco said, go ahead and take the high line. I'll let you get the lead off the restart here, but he can secure the inside and stay in second as long as he can beat the 72 off the restart here. But we'll see how it all plays out here. Pace car into pit road. The long drive down the original front stretch here. Just under caution here, under pace speed, and everybody's just waiting. And it can be a painful time here when you got no pace car in front of you. Just waiting for that leader to get around into the final corner. See that line, see the restart line. And Kilrow back on the loud pedal, and we're racing again in Phoenix.
And Joseph Grijalva over the back of the one, trying to get that jump, like you said, with a little teammate action going on right there to kind of secure the first two spots, make it a little more difficult for the 10 as he was putting some serious pressure on Dalton Kilrow there towards the end. But we got going on in the back there as they start going around. Looks like Glint, Gordon, Larson, they gather it up. Stay green here. Not Gordon Morrison, is back a little bit farther up. Maybe it was Ray Courtney. Yeah, Ray Courtney was getting loose there in that 99. Sorry. A lot of backcornered cars, and sometimes it's hard to pull apart.
Yeah, definitely a few cars getting mixed up right there, but everybody keeps it straight, and we will stay green here on the restart. Dalton Kilrow and Ty Marasco, your front two. Joseph Grijalva was definitely all over the backside of that one, trying to push him up there and keep him alongside the 41. I know Marasco was probably trying to hold back and give Kilrow that inside, like I'm sure they talked about as teammates. But Grijalva was doing everything he could to push Marasco up there and force him to get to the inside. It wasn't going to happen, but now we will have another caution. Looks like the O2 of... Is it? Because I see the O2 stopped on the track as well. We'll take a look at it here. Oh yeah, big incident there. The 4 of DJ Mitzel into the 99 of Ray Courtney, and...
See the 83, nowhere to go again.
That is the 83 of Brandon Mefford as he gets involved. I seen the O2. It looks like the O2 was in the pits. I'm not sure what happened to Tyler Hilton. As these guys still diving around the cars here, but I didn't see any kind of incident for the O2 there. He just jumped in the pits and looks like he is back out on the track now. So kind of interesting to see what happened right there. But maybe he came in the pits and forgot to take fuel or something. I don't know.
I mean, there's always a possibility, right?
Well, we will have the same top three here on the restart. And it's going to be Kilrow, Marasco, and Grijalva. Casey in fourth, Ryan Allen. Not Ray, I almost said it. I stopped myself. Ryan Allen in fifth place. Then you got Joshua Divers, Derek Paulson up to seventh place now. Billy Van Meter up into eighth. Brian Dees in ninth. And then Gordon Larson back in 10th. We'll see if the teammates decide to do the same thing on this restart, and Kilrow will start on the outside with Marasco on the inside. It was a little sketchy there with Grijalva trying to push as much as possible, but looks like Lucky Dog there is going to go to Greg Lerman.
I want to say Learman for some reason. Good to get back in the lead lap, I'm sure, there for Craig. So want to put that 43, get him a good finish. Right now, currently still up 3 spots. So one of those drivers that elected to buy and put in no time, and obviously he needs to work hard to work his way around.
Well, we got a second. Want to give a shout out and a thanks to our sponsors here for the season, that being Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. And thank you to all the fans out there tuning in to CRN. If you haven't done so, please hit that like and subscribe and get involved in everything that CRN has to offer, as we've got racing across the board and even got some more racing coming up with some new series that we're picking up. We got a special event on the horizon. There's always something going on, always some kind of racing here on CRN. But tonight, these boys at Virtual Velocity Racing getting a little frisky here on a couple of these restarts, but I mean this caution, nothing good here on a couple of these guys. Some more damage for a couple more cars, and it takes its toll here with no fast repairs and just more cars that have to come in here and slap some more tape on that car to make that thing go. But out front, Kilrow, Marasco, Grijalva, Hasty, and Allen are going to be your top 5.
And you can see, obviously the drivers coming in and maybe just top off fuel. It looks like the 60, maybe a couple seconds of damage, and obviously that little bit of fuel kind of nudge them out here for the drivers that continue to stay out. And he might be that one driver it works out the best. Maybe he'll only have to stop maybe one more time, or just have less fuel to take at the end. So every little attempt and trying to get a great finish is what these drivers are out here trying to do. Obviously you got the battle up front, consistent of all these drivers with Don Kilrow and Todd Marasco, and then that 10 of Joseph Hall sitting back there, so trying to get a good start. Accordion is our friend back in the back there. See 84 had to check up. I think it was a 77 as well right before the start.
One of Marasco hanging back just a little bit here from Dalton Kilrow as they're both back on the loud pedal. A good restart for both these drivers. And Marasco not just falling back just yet, but now looks like he will. Grijalva going to look to the outside, maybe a little sneak attack here on Marasco. Crosses him over, cuts down to the bottom side by side out of turn number 2 for second place.
Yeah, good move there by number 10. Now if he can just get at the stick going down into turn number 3.
One of Marasco going to shoot it off in there and drive it deep into turn number 3. Going to hold the outside for the time being. Gets a good run through the little kink. I mean, I can't even call that turn number 1. It's a little bit of a kink in the backstretch there. Get close. The contact there. The 10 and the 1, but Grijalva trying to turn left, trying to get a good grip off of that corner, but Marasco is going to keep fighting with him, and all the while, Dalton Kilrow stretching out his lead.
Yeah, I mean, this team might not be in that next position, but he's doing the next best thing, and it's kind of a 11 to 10 kill to get out there to a bigger lead. And this battle here will work on the tires of both of those cars. So the drivers behind them just have to be patient as these two drivers are battling, but you get a little loose there by the number 10. It might give up the go-ahead for the one to get by, and it does. As the one at Time Marasco now will be able to almost secure that P number 2 spot. Now Joshua Kilroy is going, Joshua Grijalva is going to need to fill in that spot and lose there too.
One of those guys. This guy.
Joseph Marasco, Dalton Grijalva.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry guys.
Jimmy doing Jimmy things.
Yeah, Jimmy does Jimmy things. I mean, it must be the older age. I mean, I turned 47 yesterday, so that's what I need.
Jimmy.
I need to go ahead.
Well, that little bit of scuffle between second place Time Marasco and third place Joseph Grijalva has allowed Dalton Kilroy to stretch out to almost a full second lead here, almost out of drafting range. But now another battle here, and Grijalva ended the wall there a little bit, trying to get to the outside of Marasco. We'll see what he can do and see if he can be the one that fights on the outside to make the pass and complete it. But you see, just getting a little bit too loose coming out of the third corner, and it's going to bring Mike Hasty up into the mix right here as well. These guys doing a lot of battling. Grijalva wants to get by, wants to be able to chase down Kilroy like he did on that initial run, but still in third place, looking at the back of that number 1. Back a little bit further in the top 10, you got Joshua Divers in 6th. Eric Paulson, your points leader, up into 7th. Brian Dees up into 8th place. Billy Van Meter and Gordon Larson, your top 10.
I just want to give a shout out to the fans out there. Of course, got Gary out there, Joe Grijalva, Wet Racing, and the Chop Shot TV. So thanks for the compliments out there, everybody, and we appreciate it and tuning in. The awesome action here provided by Virtual Velocity Racing, as we're trying to go 150 laps here at Phoenix.
Still going to be a battle here for second. Grijalva back to the inside of Marasco, looking to do whatever he can to get by, still stuck. And I mean, the inside is kind of the preferred line to make the pass, but that outside can get a good enough run to hold them there, as you've seen it multiple times now. And now Grijalva is going to fall back and start falling pretty hard. Not sure what happened out there with the 10, but he's falling all the way back to 6th place right now and 7th. So we'd have to take a look. I mean, I don't see any kind of incidents on SDK, but the 10 is certainly falling back through the field right now, having to collect himself, and now getting passed again here on the outside. That is Paulson making the pass. I don't see any kind of damage on the 10, but something must have happened. Something got mixed up here a little bit with the 1, but Marasco keeps going. He's in 2nd. Hasty now in 3rd. Ryan Allen up to 4th.
Yeah, I'll probably go back here where the pass was made here at the 10. You can see a little touch there.
And a little touch again. Big sideways. Good job collecting it and saving it, and he's going to lose a few positions, but he lives to fight another day.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not the best thing that the 10 wants to happen, but once you get a slide in here, Carl, with these cars, it really does take its toll on its tires. So it's going to take that 10 a few laps for them tires to kind of calm back down, from scorching close to that 300 degree mark and being all super slick and tight. So let the 10 kind of get settled down. It's still early in the race. We're only a little over a third of the way as we're on like 54, 150. And right now, it's the 41 out front over Mike Hastings, who just made a move on the 1 of Time Marasco. And then Ryan Allen back there in 4th, Joshua Divers in 5th, Eric Paulson, Joseph Grijalva, Brian Dees, and Brandon Mefford is currently back there in P number 9, so worked his way back up to the field already. And Billy Van Meter, number 10 car.
Yeah, still a battle for second place. Hasty on the inside, Marasco on the outside. Marasco just being extremely pesky and will not give up that second place, but looks like he doesn't have a choice now, as Hasty is going to get on by. I think He'll probably burn up his tires a little bit running with Grijalva early. But yeah, I mean, you look at the front end of that 83 machine of Brandon Mefford, and it definitely got some damage. It's seen that front end caved in here a little bit, but clearly not hurting the speed. I mean, that's not the way it's supposed to be shaped, but heck, maybe that's a faster shape.
Yeah, I mean, it's working for the 83, and he's driven all the way back to the field already, and he can only drive what he can do here tonight with what his basically his crew down the pits. They're in the pit stops trying to get as much repairs done as possible and try to basically get a good finish this race here, and but he's doing a good job there so far with what he has. Up to P number 8, so back here with Ryan Allen. Moving into P number 3 as he starts to look down to the inside of that one at Tom Westbrook.
A little run for these guys here as we are on lap number 58, already a third of the way through this race. Should be at least one more pit stop, possibly two, depending on when these guys last pit. But Dalton Kilroe out to a 2.7-second lead over Mike Hasty, who is starting to stretch out a little bit on Ty Marasco in third, who has got a mirror full of, well, about 6 or 7 cars. One of them, including Joseph Grijalva, would love to get back up there and mix it up again here with the one. I'm sure he's sitting back there in 7th place right now. Willie Van Meter and Brian Dees doing a little battling in the back half of the top 10. And looking back here in 12th at Gordon Larson. Looking back here a little bit, starting in 8th. Was going to hang on to 10th for a little bit here, but now Brian Dees, Michael Pratt both moving on by. Pratt is now up 18 spots. So the man that likes starting in the back doesn't take too much time until he makes his way up through the field. 28th and now in the top 10.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Michael Pratt last week. I think he has a pretty good strategy for these cars, and it allows him to start in the back. And if that works for him, it's definitely working here tonight. He's up 18 spots. Back here with somebody we haven't talked much about, the number 60, Brian Rainville. He is currently up 16 spots as well, sitting in P number 14.
So we're back there in 30th, so heck of a run here for the 60 team, along with that 77. Derek Paulson, your points leader, starting in 16th. So he was one of the guys that did put a lap down, but not that great. But now he finds himself inside the top 5. Take a look right there at the 16 as he's running right behind the 87 Ryan Allen and the 1 of Ty Marasco. Those guys holding him back from already being in the podium, and we're not even halfway through this race. Battle back a little bit further right there between Billy Van Meter on the inside. Actually, sorry, that is the 83 of Brandon Mefford on the inside, as he is certainly a man on the move. Got a guy in the wall back there. Not sure if that was Brian Dees, but bouncing off the wall 3 wide going through turn number 3 here. And Michael Prescott, he's got somewhere to be, Jimmy.
Hey, he wants to get that front call.
I mean, I guess if you got a hot date, you want to get this race done as quick as possible. He's like, I can't wait back here any longer. He is on the move. But they're too wide in front of him. We'll see if he decides to take it 3 wide again. But heck of a move from some of these guys, and very close there between the 23 and 66. But 3 wide again. Pratt on the inside. In the middle is the 83 of Mefford. Obviously has got some speed here tonight. He was the man that started on the pole, and now finds himself back inside the top 10, close to the top 5 after an early incident with second place. Big wiggle there by the 77. Good save from Pratt. But the 83 could be the man that's even more on the move than Pratt. He wants to get back up to the front.
Yeah, I obviously got involved right there on that very first lap, moving him all the way to the back of the field. There's damage on that car. You kind of wonder if he's going to need the assistance of some of these other drivers to, I don't know how the car's going to handle when it gets out to the front of these cars. Is it going to be like a brick wall where that's basically almost like a scoop going on there? But right now it is, who is that? Derek Paulson leading the group here. As this is for basically P3 and back.
You know, almost seems like the 83 there, Medford, kind of stuck behind a wall, and that being Joshua Divers in the 57 and the 1 of Ty Marasco, who was just content right in that middle line. It just seems like we're always seeing him right there. But now the 66 of John Garrett to the inside, and had a little touch there with the 83. The 83 locks it up. Looks like there's not going to be any more contact, but again, he is going to have to come through the field, and that being the 83 of Brandon Medford. So, I mean, man, the guy can't catch a break. This is twice now, and this time you see right here going into the corner. The 66 looks to go 3 wide, pushes right up, and hooks the 83. That is John Garrett. Also another guy that started up there in the top 10, but both those go sliding. Doesn't look like any kind of damage happening. The 66 keeps it off the wall. The 83 locks it up, and I don't think they made any kind of contact here once they came to a stop. So getting away a little scot-free there without any more damage is the 83 and certainly the 66. But we are under caution again here in Phoenix, and we are now right about halfway as we are on lap number 68. So these guys should be able to make a pit stop here. They're going to have to make one more yet before this thing is over, but this should be the first round of tires. Be very interesting to see if guys decide to come in here and just take fuel only and save those 2 sets of tires for the second half of the race. But I would assume a lot of these guys will want to take some tires here and really start making some hay.
See, I've seen that the 41 go and the 72 there of Hasty, excuse me. So we know that those 2 drivers will be on fresh tires, and you know, we did talk to Jessica Halla there at the beginning, and he said how important tires were. So if people are going and getting tires this time by, and you're out front, kind of just trying to maybe lead get a lap led, or hope another caution comes out, we can gain a couple of positions. It's going to be very difficult. So if you're a driver that's taking tires and you're behind somebody that has not, you just have to be extremely careful. From tire slippage, they're definitely not going to be as fast in the corners, and you're just going to have to use that pure advantage to get that probably down to the inside and make a pass. But right now, kind of working his way through. Mike Taylor up 19 spots, but that 77 on Michael Pratt that did come in, I don't know if he just took 2 tires or just fuel or whatever, has found that number 77 in Pete number 2. And then Brian Rainbow, we talked a little bit, and the 60 is up in the Pete number 7. So some good pit stop strategy going on here to kind of bring those guys in. It looks like the 60 is going to haul back down pit lane and probably top off for fuel one more time. But still, I'm thinking it's even possible to make it the rest of the way. But we will see what that 60 does do here.
Yeah, the front 2 guys, Mike Taylor and Michael Pratt, look like they only took fuel, and then the next group all the way down to 12th place, taking 4 tires. Chris Moreland, the next one that appears to have only taken fuel, and then pretty much the rest of the field taking tires that time by. So your front row tireless at this point, and they're going to see what they can do. And Michael Taylor pitting last on lap number 41. But he is going to be your leader. He is your control car. He is starting on the inside there in that 98. That full of breakfast cereal machine right there with the 77, last week's winner, Michael Pratt, on the outside. But these guys have got to keep one eye in the mirror, if not both eyes in the mirror on this restart, because everybody behind them has got tires, and they want to get by these guys as quick as possible. Kilrow has got Hasty on the outside. He's got his teammate there, Paulson, and Ty Marasco behind him. But we are ready for another restart here on lap number 70. You got to be 80 laps to go here at the line, so close to halfway. And Mike Taylor is in the lead for this restart. Waiting, and green as we are back racing here, and Pratt already falling back quickly. Mike Taylor trying to get away as quick as possible and at least lead 1 or 2 green flag laps here before these guys eat him up. But you see Kilrow already clearing into 2nd place, and now makes a hard left-hand turn down the backstretch here. He is already on the inside and going to make the pass for the lead. His teammate, Derek Paulson, your top two in points right now, are running 1-2.
So you see how fast those first two cars, you kind of got eaten up, obviously, the 77's got the fuel mileage as everybody else. It just doesn't have that grip on the field. So now they are side by side. It's going to hold up the field just a little bit. Outside Marasco is going to need to use some new tires to get around. All that 72 as well is obviously, I feel like they're going to be on a heater. They're definitely checking up for those two cars. 98's going to go really wide there. 77 going wide. Oh, come on, get over there.
Pretty wide and going through the kink on the backstretch, and there's too many cars in one spot right there, and it looks like, I'm not sure who that is on the inside, drop it off and just gonna go ahead and you what, boys, you go have your fun. I'm gonna play it like Talladega and just drop to the back at this point. But crazy battling, and that's what happens when you got a couple of guys deciding not to take tires and everybody else decides to take them, as I got close to contact there with the 99 and the 284 on the outside. Going to try and make a pass. That is Len McNeese, another guy up there in the points, trying to make his way up through the field. But out front, once again, it is Dalton Kilroe running the fastest lap of the race that last time by. Starting to crank up here a little bit. That is a hard impact. And I believe that was a 49, the 45 there. Was hard impact. Trying to see who that was. It's not showing up here for me at all, but it looks like that was Tim Williams in 18th position right now. Somehow he's still got that thing going, but that certainly pancaked the inside wall. You see the damage on the left side. I mean, maybe it'll help turn a little bit more, and it certainly does. Hard impact right there on the front stretch again. And that's probably going to spell the end of the night here for the 45, trying to keep it down left. But he is going to have to will that thing down and bring it into pit lane if he decides to keep going on here, because that thing is not going to drive any better.
No, front end's gone on the 45. And, I was not going to block a flag on my NASCAR would, but he's going to have to bring that machine down in, as looks like his night will be done with no fast repairs and pretty much that front clip missing. So run there from the 45 as he was up there.
One more kiss with the barrels on the way in, so.
Almost. But definitely a lot of damage. There's a ton of damage done to that 45.
We will stay under green here, and Kilroe stretching his legs right now as he is out to a 1.2 second lead over Derek Paulson. Joshua Divers in third, Mike Casey back up to fourth, Ty Marasco in fifth. And you got Ryan Allen, Joseph Grijalva, Brian Dees, Gordon Larson, and Todd Merkel, your top 10. We've had a few cautions here tonight, and it's mixed up the field here a little bit, but it seems like the cream of the crop keeps rising to the top, and most of these guys taking tires on that last pit stop means that they will have only one set left. So, a couple of guys, you got there's my train of thought here. You got not Mike Casey, Michael Pratt, possibly in the catbird seat here, and Mike Taylor with two sets of tires if this thing has a few more cautions in the second half. But battle, once again, we've seen this before, Jimmy, the 10 and the 1. The 10 to the inside, Grijalva trying his luck to get around the 1 of Marasco. We'll see how long it takes this time, but it looks like Grijalva's got a good run now, and he's going to take it into turn number 2. But that 1 of Marasco just is he's being feisty here tonight on that outside, and he's not making it easy for anybody.
And it's tough, when you have a driver on the outside, you just can't get in the throttle when you want, and have to let your car kind of wash up a little bit wide. But Alden finally gives a run there, able to get around the 1, and that might be on the 1 a little bit too. Like, man, last time I did this, I lost my tires, I fell back through the field. Maybe just do this for a lap or so, and then let them go. And as Dalton Kilroe's up there, you got Joshua Divers as well. So you still have teammates up ahead of you, but you want to try to get that number 1 machine up forward and get yourself a pretty good finish and burn up your tires holding up a driver, just doing great battling. I mean, it's great racing, and just at the time right now, it's time to maybe just fall in the line and try to follow each other around and catch back up to the leaders so they don't get too far away.
Yeah, it looked like the one locked up a little bit as he was trying to hold off the run there from Grauva, but he's going to have to fall back now a couple spots, and that's going to move Grauva up into 5th place. Ryan Allen makes a pass as well, and he moves up into 6th. But the leader is Kilroe, and leading a bunch of laps again. We've seen it more often than not here this season, where the man that leads the majority of the race ends up going on to win, and Kilroe's done that twice and gotten 2 wins. We'll see if this is 3 for 3 here for the 41, but certainly Joshua Divers would love to shake that up here a little bit, as this is the highest he's run all night. And same with our points leader, Derek Paulson, running up in 3rd place, as Divers and Paulson are up 10 and 13 positions respectively. Greg Lerman in the 43 is the biggest mover right now, as he is up 14 spots from his starting spot back there in 29th. Now the Dark Knight is on the move back up through the field. A big wiggle. I apologize. Greg, that is totally on me.
He tags a wall.
I will pay for the repairs. Craig, I apologize on that one. I'll buy you a new front right fender there. That is definitely a little broadcaster's curse. Jimmy, we are...
You could have been any better.
No, that was perfect timing. Perfect timing. Sucks that was a sucks to suck moment right there. We are down to 65 laps to go. I think it's about time to crank these guys up. I was wanting a little bit of a green flag run here, and give our fans out there a little love to hear it.
All right, a little bit of love to hear it.
and sideways. Perfect timing.
Perfect timing as we're coming. Is a challenge for the lead as Joshua Divers is looking to get around Dalton Kilrow, but we have an incident on the track here at lap 97 as Joseph Cajalva is involved. We'll take a look back there and see what happened with Joseph.
That looks like a check up there from the 19 initially. I know the 19, or actually, there's a 19. Got into the wall previously, so he was a little bit slow going into the corner. That checked up the 72, and then Grijalva went to the inside to try and avoid it, and did a little dirt tracking on the inside. Unfortunately, when you got your car half on the apron, half on the track, you're not going to be able to save it. It's going to go around, but luckily, he gets away with this thing as he slides up the track. I don't think I've seen anybody, at least when I was taking a look at him, making contact. So he is going to get away with this one and pull away without any kind of damage, except for losing quite a bit of positions again. So another guy that has been running inside the top 10, now he needs to fight back once again. We've seen the 83 there of Brandon Mefford. He's driving like a pissed off teenager. There's no other way to put it right now. And he has had to come through the field multiple times after starting on the pole, and he's doing it. He's answering all the questions so far. But right now, it is still the Dalton Kilrow show. Divers was making a run at him at the end. It seems like Kilrow's car goes off maybe a little bit at the end of these runs, and he starts to get a little bit vulnerable. So we'll see if he changed up his driving style a little bit here in the second half to compensate for that, or if just fighting to try and keep these guys back at the start of these runs is enough to kind of put him in that situation. A couple of guys staying out here, going to look to get the wave around, but it is going to be Kilrow and Divers on your front row here for the restart, and we're going to be, looks like 50 laps to go once we take the green flag for the restart.
And there's already a lot of, well, it looks like everybody's times are close. Probably taking that set of tires, and they'd have to make that set of tires lap the last 51 laps here. Obviously a couple more laps under caution. We would at lap 100 here, up 150 under caution. So 50 laps remaining. Who still has tires? Who has a set in the bank? I think possibly here in 15-20 laps, say another caution comes out, we'll be able to go in and grab fresh tires and just kind of mow down the field. What we have to do it strategically and quick as possible. It does get a little challenging here. We've seen a lot of good battles, or that outside line can hold its own, and it doesn't take long. It only takes about 5 to 10 laps before the tires start kind of falling off and kind of equalize in the field. So we will see who has made the correct strategy here tonight. And also the question is, can they make it 50 laps?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we haven't had a long enough run to see these guys come down and take green flag pit stops. I think the early run that was the closest that we got, and it was about 33 or so laps. And we've seen some guys start to make their way down to pit road, but not sure if that was on the very early side of the stint, and they were trying to kind of split up the race in a certain way or not. So really don't have a full idea how long these guys can go. I don't think it's going to be 50 laps, so I think these guys are stuck with at least one more pit stop. But a couple of guys here taking a set of tires. Not sure if that was a mistake or if they are planning on running this set of tires all the way to the end, and it could certainly be a strategy. You take some tires now, you're a fast car, you run through the field, you get to your position, and then you're just taking a splash and dash on that last pit stop, because if you're coming in with 10 to 15, 20 laps to go, yeah, it'd be nice to have a set of tires there in the pits, but if you're just coming in and taking a splash and go after you secured a nice early lead, you could be sitting in a nice spot right there. But Divers trying to get right on the side of Kilrow here for the restart. Kilrow trying to pinch him down there, and we are racing here again at Phoenix. He tried to bring his teammate Paulson with him, but Divers is going to come into second place. Mike Hasty on the inside of Derek Paulson, battling into turn number 1 here. Actually, turn number 2, sorry. But it is going to be Kilrow out to the lead again. Now, can Divers hang with him? Can he reel him in He's going to stay right there on his back bumper, some battling back there in the pack, but we're less than 50 laps to go now here at Phoenix. It's not exactly go time just yet, but I mean, don't tell that to guys like the man right there, Brandon Medford. It's been go time since lap number 2, as he started on the pole, got hooked right away, and has been battling back ever since, twice, as he got hooked in another incident. But once again, back up into the top 10. The guy just won't go away.
Yeah, he's definitely not going away from that. After that spin there, the 10 of Joseph Cavallo is moving his car up forward, and he might have been one of the cars that had taken new tires, and rightfully so, as he, went sideways, and that really destroyed the tires. I don't think iRacing hasn't implemented flat spots, and I'm sure it'd be a pretty rough ride if they were, but they just usually just heats them up, wears them down really quick when you go sideways like that. So
incident in the back. The 2 gets spun around. The 2 of Todd Merkel, I seen, got spun around. Looks like the 6 of Eric Blunt involved as well. You're under caution again here. And right there, the 2 and the 23 get together. Looks like the 2 was trying to get in the middle there, 3 wide. I don't think the 2 realized it was about to be 3 wide. They make contact. The 6 really has nowhere to go here, and just along for the ride. Makes a little bit of contact there, and the 12 trying to sneak through there. Gets into the 6 and then gets into the 23, rips off the 23's front bumper. Hard impact there for the 6. So a few more cars getting involved, and Phoenix is being a little rough here tonight, or at least the drivers are being a little rough to each other, but under caution here again at Phoenix. And I know Tim is probably watching on here, not happy with all these cautions. It's a lot of just rough racing out here with these guys. Not rough in the sense of driving dirty, but it's tight racing. I mean, even though this track is a little bit wide, it's very easy to find yourself and come together, and that's what these guys are doing here tonight. But Dalton Kilrow doesn't mind these laps right here under caution. He will gladly just take a few more laps led, less time that he's got to worry about fighting anybody else off.
Yeah, speaking of Tim, he's out there tonight in number 24. He's currently sitting.
He is. Good call.
Yeah, and the Pinot
sneaky.
Yeah. Remember he's in the chat. He's usually saying some stuff. I noticed his name earlier. I was on for a little bit. But just be quiet, just quietly hanging around, working his way up to that top 10. So him just doing his thing, having some fun out there, actually getting out in the car tonight. But been a great person to work with so far. I look forward to future races and working with Tim here with Virtual Velocity Racing and their sponsors that have brought on board for their series. But yeah, right now it is the Kilrow out front, still followed by Joshua Dyrich, so trying to get that 57 around the number 41. Mike Hasty's been hanging around there all night tonight as well. But that number 72, he qualified there in P number 4. Olsen making his way forward. He's a points leader for a reason. As again, he's just doing what he does towards the end of the race, and let's finish up towards the front. Briscoe has been Joseph Cavallo's nemesis, I would guess you call it here, for this race so far. And guess what? They are both 5th and 6th. So they find each other once again here on lap 107. We're under caution right now. But I think the big story is Brandon Medford in the 83 getting involved, starting out front on the pole or outside pole one spots, and then just being in the back of the pack, and now coming in, getting a little bit of damage repaired, and running a not so perfect car here in the top 10, getting ready to try to make that top 5.
The time is starting to tick by here, and we're already on lap number 107. We're going to restart this thing and have about 40 laps to go. It's funny, getting back to Tim Lee, what is it about our league admins, our guys that run these leagues, that it seems like they have quiet rides? I mean, between Tim Lee here tonight, so quiet. I haven't even really seen him talked about him at all. Started in 17th, up 12th right now, just outside the top 10. Scott Bolster kind of does the same thing with UCRL. Like you don't see him, you don't really talk about him too much, and then all of a sudden he just slowly sneaks his way into the top 10. I feel like it's the same thing here tonight with Tim Lee. But these guys are going to start doubling back up here and get this thing fired off again. Hopefully we get a nice green flag run here to the end. Pace car is back into the pits. Joshua Divers on the inside as Dalton Kilrow is going to elect to go to the outside again. Be right in front of his teammate there, Derek Paulson, as these guys try and get a good restart. You got the fresh tires in 6th place there. Joseph Grijalva wants to get up through these guys as quick as possible and check out if he can. But we're in the restart zone again, and a bad restart there for the 57 Chicks. Everybody up on the inside. That's going to give 2nd place to Derek Paulson, 3rd place to Joseph Grijalva. That is a godsend there for the 10 of Grijalva. Doesn't have to pass a couple cars there on the inside. He jumps right into 3rd, but he's got to get a move on. He's got to use those fresh tires. Now that he has them, then he is going right to work on Derek Paulson for 2nd.
Yeah, he has to take advantage of the time that he has right now and at least stay up on that bumper. And maybe work on that, just kind of ease him on with them tires. He's got to make them last 40 laps. I don't know if the 10 has another set in the pits, but he should be able to catch the 41 of Dalton Kilrow and start to check out. Just needs to be leery of his tires because he needs to make them last the rest of the way. But Derek Paulson has gotten around the 57, so that start there prior to 57 Joshua Divers, and almost like I don't know if he had a slip or not, or maybe just maybe a slight misshift with these cars.
Yeah, he was really kind of caught off guard there, and then missed a shift or something to fall back that quickly. And really credit to all these guys on the inside line to not get jumbled up and cause a major incident, as that a lot of times is what happens when a guy towards the front of the pack who misses a shift or just has a terrible restart. It can certainly, accordion everything and bring in a bunch of cars into an incident, but everybody gets away from that scot-free. And a big wiggle there from the 84 Len McNeese, but a good save. Has to take it down the apron, just kind of gather it back up, but another good save here tonight, and we've seen that from a couple of drivers here tonight. Really have to wrangle those cars in because that back end wants to step out. Grijalva now to the point as he has made his way past Dalton Kilrow, and now he looks to put these cars as far back as possible. Again, he's got those fresh tires, probably set up for a splash and dash here at the end once all these guys have to come into the pit. So now, if you're Grijalva, you're doing one of two things. You're doing a rain dance and hoping that some rain comes in here and cancels the end of this race.
A red flag?
Exactly. It's like a red flag here for sure. Or you're hoping this thing stays green the rest of the way, as that's the best hope for his plan to work out here. But these guys have been pretty racy here tonight, and again, another step out there, that one by the 43 of Craig Lerman, as he is up 17 spots at the moment, trying to work his way back in the top 10. Michael Pratt, the 77, is back up into the top 10. So again, Cream is starting to rise back to the top of this thing, but that was very close up in your kitchen right there into the back of Lerman. It was Ray Courtney, at least very close to him. But we are down to 35 laps to go this time by, and these guys should have to have one more pit stop, but it almost feels like it's go time already here, Jimmy.
You see how long it takes to pass somebody, so if they can get around them now, it's what they want to do. But right now, teammates working on each other. You got the 16 looking down to the inside of the 41, so Derek Paulson working on Dalton Kilrow here and other teammates. But when it comes down to it, that 16 is leading the points, and he's leading the points for a reason. So I'm going to get around that number 41 and collect himself a few more points here for the season. But right back there is still the number 57 of Joshua Divers. You've seen him battling with that 41 and almost got around him. Just that bad start, just basically just kind of like wasted time. Everything that you've kind of made up. We have to redo it all over again. So, but doing a good job so far in number 57. But yeah, there's the battle for Pete number 2 between the 16 and the 41, and it looks like they're going to let that happen here pretty easily and try to keep Crane going. But the 41's going to drift up and allow the 57 to get underneath him. So,
it was a bad corner there.
Yeah,
that's going to drop him back to 4th.
Yeah, lap leader, I think most laps here tonight, pretty much that number 41 is going to fall back to Pete Roller City. So.
and still under fire as he's got the 72, the 87, and the 1 all breathing down his neck. Looks like the 16 has a little bit in the tank here, and he sees that 10 getting smaller and smaller. He knows he's got to catch up to him, put some pressure on, but 3 wide going through the corner here. Kilroe's going to fall back another position as Divers, I'm sorry, that was Ryan Allen going through the middle, teammate to Divers, as he moves himself up into 4th place. Mike Hasty now going to the inside. He's going to move up into 5th. And Kilroe is really falling back here pretty fast. Brandon Mefford back up here in the mix as well, up into 9th place right now. Michael Pratt in 10th. Craig Lerman in 11th. Len McNeese in 12th. All those guys up a bunch of positions, but they are all chasing the number 10 right now of Joseph Grijalva, who is out to a 2.5 second lead.
And that's what new tires do for you. The big thing is I think basically, use this time wisely and stretch that lead. And hope this thing goes green the rest of the way.
Yeah, as far as I know, he is done with tires here tonight, so he's going to use these tires as much as possible to build up a big lead, and then come in, take his splash and go, and try and run this thing to the end and hold off the guys that are going to have light tanks and fresh tires all the way to the end of this thing. Michael Pratt catching up to the back of Kilroe now. He's going to go to the outside and try and move himself into 8th place as he is going to do so into turn number 3, the 66 there of John Garrett getting up here into the mix, trying to get himself back into the top 10, and this is the battle now for 9th with Kilroe. So not sure if some issues here with the 41, if he's just holding back, trying to save a little bit here for the end, or what the case is, but this is the worst that we've seen the 41 run all night, as he's been out front most of the time, and maybe that car is just horrible back in dirty air.
I mean, a good possibility, and we talked about it.
Ooh, close there. The 77 to 83 getting together, not to jump in there, but that was close to another incident.
Yeah, that was close. And the 77's on a charge. He's looking to get that car backed up the front as he is there in P number 7. But yeah, we're not quite sure what's going on with the 41. Just wondering if it's a tire safe mode. Or, I mean, there is 27-ish laps remaining here. We're about to get the 25 laps to go counter here to show up there in the ticker. But Joshua Grijalva is out to a pretty nice little lead over Ryan Allen in the 87. We haven't even talked about the 87 much.
Yeah, not that much of a lead. This lead was out to 2.5 seconds. It is down to 0.7. Ryan Allen, one of the other cars on fresh tires. He's on the same strategy here as the 10, but he actually, I believe he's got fresher tires. He gets 7-lap fresher tires than the 10 right now. So he's trying to do the same thing. He's trying to run this thing as far as he can and as fast as he can to give himself a good shot at that splash and dash and get to the end. I don't think he can make it. I mean, he's going to have to make it 45 laps on the fuel. I think that's still stretching it, but he's going to need less fuel than the 10. So if he can pass him here, he's got a good shot at being the better one on this strategy right here, as these guys are out 2.7 seconds out of 3rd place, Derek Paulson.
It's new tires for you. And he gets to, they talked about it, or Joe talked about it there pre-race, right before they went out on track, and how important tires are. And we're seeing it right here as we're able to pull away from the field. Derek Paulson always been pretty consistent so far. We've had Joshua Divers battling for the lead with the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. So yeah, I'm just really surprised here the kind of way that things are kind of falling by, and things do happen, or you take damage or whatever it may be, and the tires have just gone more than you think here at Phoenix. But it's turning to be a good one. But yeah, go back here, Michael Pratt again up 20 spots, fighting with one of Ty Marasco, looking to take away P number 7.
throw it out to all our fans out there, all you boys and girls out there watching the race. Who do you think is going to bring this thing home? 23 laps to go. Do you think the strategy for Joseph Grijalva or Ryan Allen is going to be the one that pays off the most? Do you think it's the guys like your points leader, Derek Paulson, in third, Joshua Divers in fourth, John Garrett in fifth? You think it's the guys that have been up and through the field a few times here, like the 77 of Michael Pratt, the 83 of Brandon Mefford? Do you think the 41 has still got a little bit here in the tank as he comes in to make his final pit stop here, Dalton Kilroe? Who do you think's got the hot shoe tonight? Who do you think is going to get it done at Phoenix Raceway and grab the win here in race number 6? 22 laps remaining.
2 laps to go, so it's nothing but a countdown from here on the ticker, but the 41 is in. He slides to his stop. What is his pit crew going to do? His right side goes up. The 2 tires for the 41. Make that 4 tires for the 41 with 21 to go.
And you see how much time he falls back here. He is all the way back now in 22nd place, and I believe it's at least 1 lap down, if not 2. So he's got a long way to go, and that is the worst thing that can happen for the 41, as he is just coming out of the pits. He's got his pit stop done. Like, I guess it's not too terrible because he can take the wave around, but for the 87 and the 10, that is not what they wanted to see.
No. This is going to be danger for these 2 cars, unless they have some tires left in the bank, and we're about to find out.
If these guys were able to save tires all the way to this point, having taken tires just recently, that's a pretty hefty run on that first set of tires. But I think these guys are going to come in and take a splash and dash, and their bet is kind of made here. The rest of the field are probably going to take their second set of tires this time by, and will make the run to the checkered flag. I mean, we've seen quite a bit of caution, so don't count the 87 or the 10 out just yet. I mean, if they can get a good enough restart, a good enough jump here, and stay ahead of the field, and run this thing through with a couple more cautions, they're certainly not out of it. But if this thing ends up going green to the end, it's going to be an uphill battle to try and keep the field behind them, as they're going to have about 30 lap fresher tires. That's a lot of laps, and that's a lot of freshness there. But the 41 is going to be able to get his lap back, but he is going to have to fight through a ton of people here, as he is going to have to get a wave around just to get back on the lead lap. That is a major hurt piece for the man that led a ton of laps here tonight. Second place in the points. Now he's going to have to fight hard to get a top 10.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Not impossible, not quite impossible, but it's definitely going to be a rough one there for the 41. But you take that chance, come in where you can make a run at because you know that the leader is going to have to get a splash of field, and bad luck. Racing's obviously about skill and being the most fast and consistent clean car out there. But sometimes a little bit of luck works as well, and right now luck was not on the side of that 41. Right now, Glenn McNeese was in at lap 105, Carl. Gonna have to look out for that number 84. Obviously trying to get the best finish as possible. Probably hoping that there's another caution. I don't know if he has enough fuel. That's a long time to stay out there. I don't think... it's going to be close, and he might be able to make it with this caution. So
we'll see 45 laps, possibly because of this caution. Maybe he can stretch it out. He does have fresh tires from lap 105, just like Ryan Allen does, and Joseph Grijalva having those fresh tires from about lap 98 or so, I believe, because I think Ryan Allen had 7 lap newer tires. So he's on the same tire strategy as the guys in second and third. But can he hold them off, and can he run this thing full throttle to the end with the fuel strategy? But Look who was slid up into fourth place. Michael Pratt did not take tires that time. Just fuel only. Slides himself up into fourth place. John Garrett up into fifth, also not taking tires. Sixth place is Eric Blunt. Haven't talked about him much tonight other than getting involved in that one incident. Now the sixth is up into sixth. And he has got fresh tires, the highest one in the running right now with fresh tires. Derek Paulson back there in seventh. Joshua Divers in eighth. I mean, grab a dart, throw it at the board, and whatever you land on could be a chance at the winner here tonight. We've got it all mixed up here. 16 laps to go at the line. They're in the restart zone. And the 84 is on the loud pedal back racing here at Phoenix.
Hey, able to get a pretty decent start. Like you said, the 84 is on the same round of tires and pit stop as the 10 and the 87. And we're just waiting for some of the other drivers, hopefully to be able to run with these guys. But right now, these three are trying to walk away. And back there, John Garrett and Michael Pratt. The 3 wide back there with the 43.
How they work it all out and make it through. These guys are definitely racy here. 15 laps to go. I want to give one more shout out to our sponsors here for the series: Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. We are far from over at this race here tonight. The 77 falling back, losing a few spots there. And the 83 goes sideways again with the one. Great save, and then 77 getting involved. What a save by these drivers here tonight. Gonna lose some positions and take a few guys out of the running here for the win. As Grijalva back up to the front, Ryan Allen back in second. But man, these guys are driving hard here tonight. 14 to go. This thing is far from over.
And that was, I guess, kind of tough to watch there for some of them. Some of them drivers as they had to lift and allow some of these drivers with the older tires to kind of stay out front.
Absolutely. Len McNeese is up there, and he has tires from lap 105, as does Ryan Allen. Grijalva with tires from 98. And then he got Derek Paulson, Joshua Divers, those guys taking tires here on lap 131. Definitely got fresh tires. Len McNeese way out to the outside, going to lose a couple spots. Well, that's going to move Paulson, your points leader, up into third as he looks for his second win on the season.
And he has a good chance with the newer tires along with that 57. Obviously, the 57 and the 87 are teammates.
Well, we'll see how this thing plays out and see if there's any kind of team calls to haul them up. But we've got another caution. Looks like a pretty big wreck on the backstretch involving quite a few drivers. Chris Moreland, Michael Pratt, Mike Taylor, all involved. Coming off the corner, the 12 and the 98 get together. The 98 hard into the wall. Back into the 12. The 77's got nowhere that he can go. And the 43 of Lerman just sneaks by, as does the 41 of Kilrow. But that's going to bring out a late race caution here, and maybe looking a little bit better here for Grijalva and Ryan Allen, as they will have a chance to drive this thing out with a few less green flag laps.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot less stress for those drivers out front on them little older tires, being able to start out front. But the 77 squeaking away there, just basically checking up and locking up the brakes, keeping that 77 clean here. Just kind of waiting for the drivers to move around and get going here. So, little spin here late in the race, bringing out a late race caution, but 10 laps to go. By the time this is all said and done, we should have about a 7-lap shootout. Is that enough time for the drivers with the newer tires to get around the 10 of Joseph Grijalva and Ryan Allen on the new tires.
Yeah, Ryan Allen on the lap 105 is when he had the new tires. So now Kilrow back on the lead lap, as he was actually 2 laps down. So he will come around as the lucky dog and be back on the lead lap. But again, still way back there, showing up in 19th position right now. I know a few of the guys in front of him may have to come into the pits and get some repairs done, so he could pick up a couple free positions here. But out front, it is Joseph Grijalva. And maybe this is good. Maybe this is what we need to let these guys know, like, hey, pre-race interviews work out pretty nice for you guys. Why don't you go ahead and sign up for one of them?
Maybe. Yeah, but hopefully Joe comes back in the booth if he's in the podium. We'll wait till next week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're about to find out here. Pace car lights are still on, so it is most likely, like Jimmy said, going to be about a 7-lap shootout here to the end. To give you a quick rundown of the top 10. You got Joseph Verhalva, Ryan Allen, Derek Paulson, Joshua Divers, and John Garrett, your top 5. Len McNeese up 17 positions in 6th place. Eric Blunt, Ray Courtney, Ty Marasco, and Brandon Mefford in your top 10. Tim Lee, sneaky, up into 11th, just trying to sneak his way into that top 10. Not out of this thing yet. It's good to see him back out there on the track. Obviously, most of the time jet setting around the world, but good to get back out here with these guys and mix it up. Gordon Larson in at 12th, Craig Lerman in 13th, Michael Pratt in 14th, Mike Hasty in 15th. Then you got Ray Radford, Dalton Kilroe, Mike Taylor, Chris Moreland, and Michael Benedetto rounding out your top 20. PJ Mitzel, Tyler Hilton, Todd Merkel, Hemi Gherardini, as Jimmy says he's going to call him Hemi Houdini. Yeah, exactly. Patrick Mann, now you see him, now you don't. 25th is going to be Brian Dees, and looks like Billy Van Meter, Cade Green, Brian Rainville, Tim Williams, and Hilton Young, your top 30. And then Brandon Meyer is going to round out your 31 car field. Frank Hughes not taking the green flag here tonight, but these guys are ready to go one more time. And the guys in the front row is still going to be biting some fingernails. We got 7 laps to go here, and now they got the fresh tires right behind them. Again, about 30 lap newer tires are on Joshua Divers and Derek Paulson, but they still got to make that pass. They still got to get around. And for how quickly these cautions are coming out here tonight, they may have to get around pretty quickly. But you know, the 10 and the 87 are not going to give up easily. Verhalva choosing the outside line, and he is on the loud pedal. We're back racing here at Phoenix. Good restart from the 10. The teammates of Allen and Divers now going to be in 2nd and 3rd. Paulson going to file out into 4th place, but the 10 is off. He wants to get away as quick as possible, but Divers clears on the outside, clears his teammate. Here comes Paulson as well. Big moment there for the 83, comes across, and we will have another caution on the track, as it looks like everybody else was able to avoid him, but man, the man that can't avoid anything here tonight, Brandon Mefford, I don't think he's ever going to want to start on the pole again. This has been a nightmare of a race for the 83. I mean, he's definitely got the award for passing the most cars here tonight, but you see he just steps out, gets a little bit loose off the corner, and unfortunately tries to save it, and it snaps on him on the backstretch. Man, tough night for the 83.
Oh, Tim Lee just kept clipping him.
I mean, it looks like the 83's car went up and over his roof, so not sure how much damage the 24's got. Maybe a little scuff on the roof. That's about it. But, oh, man, he got a feel for Brandon Mefford here tonight. It was a rough night. Probably, a lot of fun in the sense of passing all these cars, but a lot of frustration here tonight for sure. But it's going to click down some more laps here. We're getting awful close to a green-white checkered here at Phoenix, and now, yeah, certainly some damage on that front right for Tim Lee. But Joseph Grijalva now has both the newer tires on the inside and behind him, depending on where he lines up. So that is going to be very interesting, and you got to wonder for Len McNeese. He is still out there in 6th place right now, is the 84. All these caution laps, he is loving it. It's making his fuel strategy certainly play off to make that 45 laps, as he is still out there trying to grab himself a good finish before this thing is over. But, I mean, these laps can't click off quick enough for the number 10 right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, you know. You have to run a good race and not get into too many people, and you take the strategy and take the tires early, and everybody starts racing pretty hard, and the accidents are happening behind you. So it pans out for the 10. You know, a good start here. He's going to have to defend, but the newer tires here, he said it from the beginning that how important that the tires were, and you basically can, chew somebody up with the new tires, and he's going to have his hands full here for these last final laps as the drivers are starting to go too wide. I think that the lights are off on the pace car as they come in and they work their way around. They're getting ready to go green.
It'll be 2 green flag laps before we have the white and the checkered. 3 laps to go here at the line as first and second getting a little rough and scraping up here a little bit up against each other. Maybe getting close again here, coming to the restart zone. The 10 trying to pitch the 57 down as much as possible as we hit the Geico restart zone. The 10 off and running. Racing here again in Phoenix. 3 laps to go. Can the 10 hold off the new tires from Joshua Divers in second, Derek Paulson in third. You got Ryan Allen in fourth, John Garrett in fifth. McNeese in the wall, still out there, still holding on to a top 10 spot right now, but hard impact again. Now the 84 is going to go around, and we are back under yellow, and we are going to have to wrap this thing up and do it again.
Kind of seen that one coming there by the McNeese. The yellow flag has come out. If we can go back here. Oh, finally showed up. I was late as SDK did that to me.
That was interesting. And two just getting wide, gets into Michael Pratt, and Tim Lee's got a full view of it again. That looks like the is that the 02 getting involved as well.
Try to go ahead and click this here and stop this so we can try to get on board with Tim Lee here from the nose, as he had a bird's eye view of what was happening in front of the 84 out to the outside.
The one getting into the wall as well as we've seen another incident up in front there. But yeah, up close and personal, and taking a look inside what's under that hood there, inside the grill there is Tim Lee. But this is going to bring out the caution, and we've got only 1 green-white checkered here in the Virtual Velocity Racing League. So this is it. This is our one and only restart here. And I guess if you're Joseph Grijalva, this is exactly what you wanted to happen. You want this thing to come down to a green-white checkered, maybe even another caution once this thing gets fired off here. To give yourself a great chance, but he is going to be your leader here again, and Joshua Divers is going to be probably on the inside the way it looks. It seems like that 10 likes pinching down at 57 on these restarts. Ryan Allen still holding on to third, Derek Paulson in fourth, Ray Courtney, Eric Blunt, Ty Marasco, your top 7, John Garrett, Gordon Larson, Michael Pratt round out your top 10. But I mean, again, this thing is far from over. We are ready to get this thing back underway as the pace car lights are out. It is going to be a green-white checkered here. First one, I believe, of the season here for the boys over at VVR. And I still have no idea who's going to win this thing. If the 10 gets a good restart, he'll have a good shot. But the 57 has got those fresh tires. How much can they pay off in that lap and a half that he's going to have a chance to try and run him down? How much is the 10 going to pinch down the 57 here on this restart? We're about to all find out, and again, only a couple laps under green to decide this thing. Who is going to get this thing done? Already bumping and banging and bruising each other here a little bit, and a little bit of netcode putting the cars inside of each other. But we're back in the restart zone racing here again in Phoenix. The 10 gets his good restart, but the 57 hangs with him here a little bit. We are racing again. Can these guys get back to the white flag, or is the yellow flag going to come out and end this thing? Either way, we are now heading to the backstretch. The 10 still in the lead over the 57 of Divers. Paulson into third. So weaving again. Great save back there in the back. Can these guys get to the white flag? They indeed will. The next flag is going to end this thing, whether it's the yellow or the checkered. The 10 of Grijalva doing what he can. Looks like a little spin in the back, and of course that is Brandon Mefford back there. We've seen it one too many times from the 83 here tonight. He'll be probably happy to get out of here, but the 10 has got one more corner to survive. One more chance for the 57, still wrecking in the back. But Joseph Grijalva is going to go from the booth to the booth. Little shot for you guys out there. Get in there for your pre-race interviews. It pays off. Worked out here for Joseph Grijalva. I mean, we'd love to take the credit for it, of course, but this was strategy and just out and out defense. I mean, even under the pace laps, playing a little defense there. But he gets it done here tonight. And the 10 is in victory lane. The 16 giving him a little victory bump there. As Paulson, your points there, going to finish in third. Joshua Divers in second. Ryan Allen is going to come home in fourth. Ray Courtney in fifth. Eric Blunt, Ty Marasco, Gordon Larson, John Garrett, and Mike Hasty round out your top 10. But the 10 is the man on top here tonight, and certainly a well-deserved celebration.
Yeah, getting down there and burning it down. Had plenty of fuel when I was able to execute that and save them tires and give himself a great finish here tonight. So a lot of hard work, I'm sure, and a lot of rough racing to try to get them starts down to walk away the winner here tonight. Before we get these drivers up in the booth and as the 10 celebrates, we'll give a quick rundown of the results here as we have plenty of drivers to go through. Actually start from the beginning, not the back of the pack. Obviously the winner here tonight will be Joseph Grijalva, followed by Joshua Divers, Derek Paulson in third, Ryan Allen is in fourth, Ray Courtney in fifth, Eric Blount in sixth, Gordon Larson's in seventh, Don Garrett in eighth, Mike Hasty in ninth, Craig Lerman in 10th, Tim Lees in 11th, Mike Taylor in 12th, Len McNeese in 13th, Dalton Kilroe is in 14th, Michael Pratt in 15th, Ray Radford in 16th, Michael Benedetto in 17th, Brandon Mefford finished in 18th after having a very challenging night here. And then Ty Marasco will be in 19th, Tyler Hilton in 20th, DJ Mitchell 21st, Todd Merkel 22nd, 23rd will be Chris Moreland. Emmy Houdini will be back there in 24th, Billy Van Meter will be 25th, Brian Dees in 26th, Cade Green in 27th, Brian Rainville in 28th. Tim Williams back there in 29th, Hilton Young will be 30th, and Brandon Meir will be back in 31st. And a shout out there to Frank Hughes for joining, which you could have stayed for the race here tonight, but sometimes you don't feel comfortable running around a lot of these drivers that might be a little bit faster than you, but maybe next time Frank will feel comfortable at the next track and we'll see him out there. But I just want to give him a shout out because it takes a lot sometimes to at least give it an attempt and see where you stand. And if you're not feeling comfortable, sometimes it's better to bow out and allow your peers to keep racing here tonight for some green flag runs. And they had some pretty good ones here tonight.
Definitely a good run for some of these guys, and we've seen a lot of guys go from the back to the front, back to the front. It felt like a super speedway race here at the 1 mile trial of Phoenix, but the three guys that we have are the ones that rose to the top at the right moments and stayed out there through all these cautions. We'll go ahead and start bringing these guys in, and we'll start with our third place finisher here tonight. And Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take the 16, your points leader of Derek Paulson.
Hey, Derek, Jimmy, and Carl, up in the booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got you.
You had a pretty eventful night trying to get that number 16 to the front as you gained 13 positions here for tonight. Obviously leading the points in for the season so far, but tell us a little bit about your race and how you were able to secure your spot there and up here on the podium.
Patience. Didn't have a good didn't qualify very well. Figured I wasn't didn't get enough practice in. Had some technical difficulty there, and patience. I wasn't in a hurry. I wasn't expecting to do as well as I finished either, and yeah, you just pick and choose when you want to make your moves. And some guys wore out their tires there on that long run more than I did, and I just picked them off one on one. And there at the end, if we would have stayed green with 15 to go, I think me and drivers would have been running for the win there, because we had new tires. But that green white checkered there towards the end, we didn't have enough time to pass the 10 car. But all in all, it was a fantastic race.
Yeah, overall, it was a great race to watch, and it was good to see it. Use that patience and bring that number 16 up here up front. Continue your run. Maybe not a win here tonight, but definitely winning so far with these points for the season. Or, and when it comes down to it, you could be finding yourself in that position for a championship this year. So from CRN and everybody out there, I'm sure that is rooting you on. Congratulations on your third place finish, and we'll give you a little bit of time for any shout outs that you may have.
Well, I do got to mention that I'm a little disappointed I didn't get second, because that is usually my number.
True.
But I got to thank Goldline Guardians, Hilton Crafts and Designs, and Fort Worth Screen Printing. I got to thank you guys up in the booth. We love having you here in the league. Again, I listen to you guys outside of this league as well, and I enjoy it. And I got to thank the drivers who showed up. We had another big group of drivers. Track was atrociously hot and slick. And if it wasn't, we had a few cautions there at the end, which we could clean up. But outside of that, I thought it was really good racing for how difficult that track was tonight. So I just got to thank the drivers. You can't have a good league without good drivers. So I got to thank them. Got to thank Team MFRD, Dalton, Ty, and Brian. I know a couple of those guys didn't have the luck that they wanted tonight, but got to thank them. Got to thank MF Racing Designs for my paints that I run every night. And I think that's it.
Yeah, well, sounds good, and I'm sure everybody out there appreciates the shout outs. I know we do here at CRN. It's good to know that people are even listening and following up on other races other than their own league. So thanks, Derek, for the shout outs, and congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That is your third place finisher here tonight. The 16 of Derek Paulson, and most likely still going to be holding on to that points lead. Another good finish here for him tonight, another podium. And we're going to have to start giving him something here for being in the booth with us so much. Split up the costs and fees here.
I mean, I think he needs a CRN shirt. So
yeah, something. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It gets up if he's over 60% of the races in the booth, I think he deserves a shirt.
Some kind of kickback, exactly. All right, well, second place here tonight is going to be the 57 of Joshua Divern. And Joshua, you and your teammate, they were up there and certainly had a shot to mix it up there in the end. On different strategies here tonight, and it seemed like that was the question there with about maybe 15-20 laps to go. There was about 4 or 5 different strategies at the top. You guys had the new tires there in the 57 team. Did you just need a couple more green flag laps to maybe get this thing done tonight?
Yeah, I really think so. I just didn't really have really good short run speed there. I just took like 5 laps for me to get up to speed and really run in the groove that I wanted to groove. And I just felt like that I just wasn't fast enough there on that green white checker. It just wasn't there for me. I did have the fresh tires, but it just didn't work out for me on the speed.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like you had some good long run speed in that car. I know when we had the one green flag run, you were able to reel in the leader at the time, Dalton Kilbro, and just as you were about to get in there to mix it up and maybe make a pass, one of the cautions came out here tonight. How tough is it when you're trying to figure out strategy? You only got 2 sets of tires in the pits, but you're dealing with a race that has quite a few cautions here tonight. How tough is it to try and figure out your strategy?
Oh man, it's definitely tough. I know it's been real hard on the strategy for me the past couple of weeks, just really getting into the whole strategy thing. But I knew I'd always like to wait for my tires to have them there at the end, and I just didn't want to take them. It was like 40 to go, 45 to go. And Ryan decided to go on and take his, and I just couldn't see myself taking them yet because I figured there was going to be another caution. So that's what I did. It kind of hurt me on that run, but then when that caution came out after Ryan got the lead, I went in and took him and come back out. But it's just hard to, and when you don't have cautions, it's hard to really do it. But even with cautions, it mixes it up, makes people go on different strategies, and it definitely makes it more complicated. And you have to think about what other people are doing along with you. So.
Well, next couple of weeks here, we got some 1.5 mile tracks. We got Texas next week and then Kentucky coming up. So how do you feel about your chances on those, the next few tracks? Do you feel like you can maybe grab one more spot and grab the top spot here?
Excuse me. I'd like to. I'm pretty good at Texas. Kentucky, not so much, but I could see. I wish I could have grabbed it tonight. But we come up a little short. Maybe we come back next week, try Texas. I've had a couple. Milwaukee Mile and Chicagoland didn't go my way. I made some mistakes, but I've had some fast cars every week, but just haven't been able to come through. So I'll take it today, finish a P2, but we're definitely looking to get a win, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, 5 races here on the season, and you're up there 5th in points coming in, but only one top 5. So good to see the results paying off here tonight, and you grab another top 5 and even get into the podium. Get to talk to us for a little bit. So congrats on the second place here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to before we let you go?
Yeah, man, I've got a whole sponsor list, if that's all right.
Yeah, all good.
All right, I'd like to thank my team, Chaos Motorsports, Maston Kane Warehouse, and Edco Weldon and Hydraulic, MEP Performance, HD5, Circle City Raceway, Kenny Moen, Norton Transport, Sim Coaches, Keep Digging, Cutscene, all them guys, man. I appreciate y'all for putting on the broadcast and letting us come in here, man.
Well, sometimes it takes a village to get a second place here tonight. So maybe grab one more sponsor. You grab one more spot for next week.
There you go.
Congrats again on the second place, and maybe we'll talk to you again after Texas.
All right, man. Thank you.
That is your second place here tonight, the 57 of Joshua Divers. Finally, tonight, the man that finished in first, he was the first one we talked to, and he's the last one we talked to as well. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our winner here tonight, 10, Joseph Grijalva.
Hey, Joe, Jimmy, Carl up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, welcome back. Like I telling Carl, I think the drivers that are up in the booth over 60% of the time, we might have to talk about maybe getting you guys a shirt of some sort. But tonight rolled in your favor. You were able to walk away the winner here. So again, congratulations on that. But you definitely had your hands full at the end there, trying to fend off a lot of cars with some a lot fresher tires than what you had in that 10. Kind of walk us down that last little bit, as we, you definitely had an eventful race.
Yeah, man. After I think it was Hastings, we got together with the lap car. I think that's the same. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. And then I took the little slide. I'm like, I might as well just take him because the tires are killed. So I took him. We came back, and my thought process was to get to the front, get a bit of a gap, and then just pace myself, take care of the tires. Like I mentioned earlier, you got to take care of the tires. So lucky enough for me, they were pretty good. These couple restarts, they were. After we took fuel, they were still like 96, 95. So I'm like, oh, man, I still got good tires. They weren't hot or nothing. So I think that's what let me stay up front for the couple laps, that those little bit of green runs we had, 3-4 restarts we did. Otherwise, if I killed them, otherwise it would have, I think the second place car would have ran over me. But it's all about taking care of the tires.
Well, you did here tonight. You took care of them tires, and you were able to fend off some hungry drivers back there looking to get around. But I know the assist of the cautions helped out greatly as well. And but in either case, you walk away the winner here tonight. We talked to you from last week. You're finishing very well. So, you're off to, I believe it's Texas next week, if I've heard Carl correctly. So what are your thoughts on next week? And you think you're going to be up here again and start marching that way forward to maybe take that points lead away from Derek Paulson?
Texas is technically my hometown track. I'm from El Paso, Texas. I consider Phoenix my hometown track, though, because it's closer. It's 8 hours away. I've been going to Phoenix since I was like 6 with Dad. Texas, I think I'll do okay. It's a little tricky, especially the first corner. We'll see what the race brings, especially with so few tires. So it's a little iffy, that one. And then I think Kentucky afterwards, not so good there. So we'll have to do some work on that one.
I think it's a common consensus that Kentucky is not a driver favorite here so far between some of the drivers that were up here tonight in the booth. But in any case, tonight was your night. You walk away the winner here at Phoenix after 150 laps and a few cautions out there. But right now, we want to give you a little bit of this. One, say congratulations, and two, give you that time to give any shout outs today and then special people out there.
Absolutely. I just want to thank you guys for putting the stream on. And just a quick story here. As I mentioned when you guys brought me in before the race, this track is really, really close to my heart. Like I said, I've been going since I was 6 or so with Dad. We've sat all the way around this track. When the back stretch was the front stretch, when there was grandstands on the front stretch now where the dog leg is, when there's grass. The only place we haven't sat is Rattlesnake Hill, which is this hill, which is 1 and 2 now, right? Used to be 3 and 4. I saw Jeff Gordon win here, lose here. That was my driver growing up. Now it's Ryan Blaney. I saw Kyle Busch win. I saw a lot of great drivers win here, and I'm glad I could win here virtually. It means a lot to me, especially with this group. These guys are so fast. If I could pick one place to win, it'd be this place the whole season. But thanks to all the drivers for putting up a good fight. It was rough, and that's how it should be. So if you do get that P1 position, it means a lot more. Dad, as I mentioned, always watching, supporting. He was here watching the end of the race and throughout the race as well. So can't thank him enough, the wife, the kids. And of course the car sponsor, BKA, El Paso Motorsports Kart Racing Club. Look them up on Facebook. Give them a like. It doesn't cost nothing. It just grows our club. That's my background is karting on flat surface. So these kind of flat tracks-ish, they come into my style. Right. So I'm pretty excited here. And again, thank you guys for broadcasting the race. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, anytime, man. It's always a pleasure getting you up here in the booth, and we look forward to maybe seeing you again, maybe next week there at Texas, or even at Kentucky, or even further races to come. But again, from CRN and everybody else out there, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We'll try and be here again.
That is your winner here tonight, the 10 of Joshua. You got me saying Joshua, not Joseph Grijalva. But a great run, and really it just, again, it comes down to the right strategy paying off. And it may not have been the fastest crowd here tonight. It certainly wasn't any kind of slouch. He was up there in the top 5 for quite some time. Got mixed up in a few incidents that sent him to the back, but found himself at the front at the right time. And sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes, to kind of get up there and just have a good run. And, it was unfortunate there for the 83 and the 2 to kind of get wrapped up in some, early race things. But, it's that early race, the jitters, and especially being out front. There's a lot of pressure when you take the pole to try to get out there and be the fastest guy the whole race and win this thing. We had a lot of great running. A lot of great lap leading there by the 41 of Kilroe, and obviously just got caught in a situation where he ended up in the pits and a caution come out. So a little bit of luck goes a long way sometimes, and right now the luck belonged to that number 10, Joseph Grijalva, and so congratulations to him, Carl, and definitely looking forward to the weeks to come.
Absolutely, and we have 5 different winners through 6 races as Grijalva makes it number 5 here, and we'll see who can get it done in the Lone Star State next week at Texas Motor Speedway, as that'll be race number 7. But it was fun here tonight. A little bit of cautions mixed it up here, and some of the drivers get caught up in the wrong spot, the wrong time. Certainly, Dalton Kilroe would have liked to see cautions come out at a different time frame, as it got caught. Caught him down 2 laps at one point until he had to fight back through the field. But Joseph Grijalva, the man at the top here, Divers gave him a run, Paulson gave him a run, but he was able to fend them off, and a little bit of help with the caution certainly isn't a bad thing here at the end. Thanking everyone tuning in here tonight to CRN, and if you haven't done so yet, please hit that like and subscribe and help us get up to our goal there of 1,000 subscribers. Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs. Thank you to the sponsors here in the series. Thank you to Tim Lee for bringing us on. But for myself and Jimmy at Phoenix, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.